exam. And Jackson, I'm going to let you guys start to break into this. I get the cool headset because my hands have to be free, and these guys are going to use the microphones as they bring the animal out. I have to step back a little because it's going to take the two of them to hold him. This is Goliath. We have several snakes at our center. Fight him, Jackson, fight him. You can get him up there. This snake actually was hatched in a classroom in the town of Weymouth in their science center. Okay, you guys get up there to your microphones. And what I'm going to do now is start a veterinary process, and which means when you're doing a physical exam, the concept of a physical exam is you're trying to learn what's abnormal about this animal. And to understand what's abnormal means you really have to understand what normal is. And when we start talking about 400 different species of animals, knowing what normal is not always obvious. Okay? We ready? I got a yawn.
Yeah.
Speak right into your microphone there.
Goliath just yawned.
That means you got to step it up a little, Greg.
I have to step it up a little bit. I'm good for you. Too funny. What that means to me, snakes don't yawn. And if a snake is yawning, that means something's going on here with this snake. And the first thing that I would wonder about is whether or not this guy's a respiratory infection. You know, as you look at a snake, you can hear him breathing too. Yeah, tell them, don't tell me.
I can hear him breathing like fairly. He's also opening his mouth for you, which means he may be having trouble some breathing.
Yeah, no, absolutely perfect here. You notice snakes are real long and skinny. Okay, we'll come back to that. And they also have these tiny little tongues. And by having these tiny little tongues, they can't use their tongue the way we use our tongue. When we use our tongue, we use it to talk. We also use it to taste. We also use our tongue to move food around the inside of our mouth. And if we have dirt in our mouth, we get rid of it with our tongue. The snake can't do that. So if the snake gets any dirt in his mouth at all, he gets an infection. So respiratory infections and what we call mouth rot is a really, really common phenomenon in snakes of all kinds. And what Jackson's telling me here is it sounds to him like he knows because he's been working with me. These guys yawn a lot when they have respiratory infections, and he's talking about he just did it again. Okay.
Greg, this hissing I can hear too on Goliath, the snake. What causes this hissing like itself?
The actual hissing is coming from the probably the fact that he's got a little bit of mucus. Whenever he gets a little inflamed in his mouth with any kind of a respiratory infection, he gets a little mucus over top of his epiglottis, and to try to clear that, they can't cough and clear their throat. They just have to do, they just have to hiss it out the best they can. Now, I'll tell you a really gross story, really gross story really fast. Somebody came to me one time with a 150-pound Burmese python. And this 150-pound Burmese python was having a really hard time breathing. And so